celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.
And welcome back to Boomer Life here on CL 650 with the Canine Corral providing the tunes this morning, courtesy of our producer Art Factora. I'm Sterling Fox, joined in studio by Rhonda Hebert and Tamara Morin from Pampered Pets Ultrasonic. Lovely conversation with Inga from Langley in our last segment. Talk about a truly satisfied client. Oh my gosh!
She is absolutely amazing.
I wanted to ask you, and this is a big question, and this is I want both of your opinions on this one too, because, well, Pampered Pets, you know about pets and you know about Christmas, and sometimes pets and Christmas intersect well and sometimes not so well. Let's start not with the toys first. Let's start with the notion of giving a puppy or a kitten as a Christmas present. Rhonda, what does your experience tell you about that?
Experience has shown me that giving a pet for a present is not the greatest idea, because a pet, as a dog and or a cat, are a lifetime commitment. If you're going to give a budgie or a goldfish or something like that that doesn't have the lifespan of 20 years,
right,
it's different. But you need to consider the person you're giving it to and ultimately either get permission as to what kind of pet they want or just don't give a pet at all, because at Christmas time, even agencies are leery to adopt pets out because it's not a fad. A pet is not a fad.
Absolutely.
It's something to be considered very carefully and a lifetime commitment.
And I guess, Tamara, that would Rhonda's point is, you know, if you're thinking of giving somebody a kitten or a puppy, that's a great thing for you to do. But how is the other person, how is the recipient of this live creature going to feel about it? And how successfully could that creature fit into this person's life unexpectedly?
Yeah, it is some kind of, as Rhonda was saying, a life commitment. And, you know, it has to be the right gift for the right person.
You bet.
So, you know, giving a puppy, you know, it's a lot of work, a lot of time managing. So in order to have it work out, you know, I wouldn't do it as a gift, but, you know, as, you know, something that you're committed to and looking forward to, you know, spending a lot of time with. So to do it as a gift, not the best idea, because that person might not want it or not ready for it, basically. You know, they may act excited, oh my gosh, a puppy, oh, it's so amazing. But, you know, once that's over and they've opened it up and, oh my gosh, then they realize, oh, well, now I have to, you know, take care of it, clean up after it. There's a lot of stuff you got to take into precaution.
That's right. So, yeah, so a lot of things to consider, Rhonda, in terms of giving an animal as a present.
Yes.
Not a great idea, especially at Christmas.
Well, it can come back as a present to you.
Yes, exactly. Because, well, we didn't really want this in the first place. Thanks for thinking of us. But, gee, what were you thinking?
Well, the big thought is people have lost a pet, and then people think, well, I'll just replace the pet as a present. Right. And then the person who lost the pet isn't over the loss of that other pet yet, and they don't want to invest in love again so soon.
Until they're ready.
Until they're ready.
Yeah, good point. So let's move on. And I appreciate both your thoughts on this, because I've interviewed countless veterinarians and people in the animal service provider business over the years, and to a person, they agree exactly with every word you said. It's just never a great idea. In a family context, Rhonda, sometimes, you know, the family's ready for a dog.
Yes.
And you know, the youngest kid is now in school, or whatever the criteria had to be. So let's get a puppy for Christmas. And everybody's ready for it and psyched up for it. And it's a surprise for the kids, but mom and dad know, and there's a psychological preparation that's already been done.
Totally different.
Very different, isn't it?
Yes.
And anything in a cage, by the way, hamsters and budgies and goldfish, that's a whole different present, isn't it?
Well, if you give a goldfish as a gift in a cage, it's not going to last long.
Aren't you clever? And by the way, from personal experience, if you give goldfish to someone for Christmas, please remind them, if they have a cat, that they're not giving cat snacks for Christmas and to cover the tank.
Absolutely.
I've been through a few of those. Let's talk about toys, though. People, I mean, we love our animals. You two are just wacko animal
Oh,
lovers. Beyond being professional service providers, superbly well-trained, etc., you're both crazy for animals.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, okay, now you realize, and you get the emotion that people attach to their animals, and you get the fact that at Christmas time and other times of the year, people, well, they want to spoil the pooch or the kitten or whatever a little bit, and people buy presents for their animals. Big time. So what are good presents and what are decidedly awful presents to buy for, let's start with dogs, Tamara. What's a great present to buy a dog?
I love, if you're going for treats, I wouldn't recommend the raw bones. I love the raw bones, but if it's being packaged away, you're not going to want that all gooey grossness. So, something more suitable, anything more natural, healthy. I'm a #1 fan of my bully sticks for my little guy. He loves to chew away at them. They're natural beef, and he just goes nuts. But anything, from stuffy toys, I'm not a big fan of those because the fur and stuffing can get stuck in their teeth, and that causes dental problems. So that's to go back towards the teeth cleaning.
Sure.
But, anything more suitable for them would be, I like the Kongs. You want the suitable size for your dog. You don't want too big of one for a smaller dog and too small of one for a big dog, because then that can cause problems.
This is the toy that you on a rope that you just throw it off and the dog goes and chases it and brings it back to you?
Yeah, or you can stuff, peanut butter and stuff inside of it,
that's
cheese.
right.
Then that they got a good game to play with themselves and chase that for a couple hours. So there's quite a few different ones.
Okay,
The
Rhonda?
toy you're talking about is called the Chuck It.
Okay.
Yeah.
It
That's the
throws-
one with the plastic throwing
Yes,
thing, right?
Yes,
And the
that's good to
balls.
teach your dogs fetch.
Okay, all right, and as we, there's fun toys, and there are fun toys that you can learn with as we approach children when we are thinking of them at Christmas. And I imagine on a much lesser intelligence scale, there are still toys that you can buy for dogs that involve training, if not learning, specifically, can't they?
Absolutely. There's ones that will teach your dog how to eat slower. There's ones that are mind games so that your dog has to open the traps to get the food. There's all kinds of entertaining things you can get for your dog. Let's not forget also, Sterling, that people wrap gifts under the tree.
Yes.
A dog can smell a pot of gold chocolate from a mile away.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
If you wrap up a pot of gold chocolate for your mailman or someone like that, or your cleaning lady,
Right.
guarantee your dog is going to get a sample of that before it gets to them. So any kind of chocolates which are toxic
Right.
for
Very.
dogs, you need to make sure that those gifts are up and not under the tree, because your dog will get right in there.
Okay, I'm going to come back to the toxic and the stuff, the edibles that are decidedly not for animals. But I wanted to come back to something you mentioned a few minutes ago, Tamara. You were talking about your little pooch, Duke, and his chew bone toys.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you both about that because you're the ultrasonic teeth cleaning pros here. And a lot of people will buy chew toys. You can buy them pig's ears or the rawhide,
Yeah.
this and that and the other thing at all the pet stores. And they see these toys as a device for the dog to clean its teeth, and that's why they buy them for the dog. How misguided thinking is that, Rhonda?
Very misguided, because like I said, each dog has an individual mouth, and you need the treats and the toys and the exercise for the gums. You need it specifically for your dog. So if you buy teeth that work the front teeth and not the back teeth, then you're avoiding the problem that is your specific problem.
Okay.
So when you want to get good dental treats, talk to a professional.
Because they put it on TV. You've seen the ads, haven't
Yes.
you,
Oh, yeah.
Tamara?
Lots.
You just feed Fido this, and my gosh, in 6 weeks the teeth will be just gleaming white, and all you need to do is give them a chew toy a day. And it sounds easy, and I'm sure it's.
There's a little more complexity. You
I
got to
would
look
think
into
so.
what's in the treat, what you're going to be giving them. Just like as us as people, you want to be eating more healthy rather than more junk food and everything like that. So there's a lot of different treats out there that have chemicals. I don't want to put anyone down, but the rawhide, for example, those ones, rather than the bully sticks, the rawhide can cause problems within the intestines and twist and don't digest properly, rather
Right.
than the bully stick, which is natural beef, where it's still flossing the teeth while they're chewing, but it's where they can actually process it and it digests properly for them. So there's a couple different things that you have to look into when you're buying certain treats.
And
for
I
them.
suppose size-appropriate toys
Size-appropriate.
are also important too, aren't they, Rhonda? Because you don't want to give a big dog a little ball because accidentally that ball could be swallowed.
Absolutely.
So you have to pay attention to the dimensions of the toy as they pertain to the dimensions of your dog and its mouth.
And people like to do that. They like to take special care of their specific pets. So when they go into their pet stores, they're looking for things specific to their pet because of the education that's out there.
Right. Now, you mentioned when we were talking a month or so ago during a bit of a cold snap in late November that, and we were asking about, well, what modifications to your dog's lifestyle do you make, if any, when the weather goes below zero over a sustained period of time? Well, the rest of Canada is going, well, we do what we do every winter. Here in Vancouver, it's a little different. We're the warmest place in all of Canada, and we only get these cold snaps every now and then. But when it does go below zero, one of the first things, well, you put a little sweater on your dog, Duke,
he
don't you,
loves
Tamara?
his sweaters. He loves his little outfits. He goes nuts. I pull one out, and he'll come running and jumping up and sitting there all handsome and put that on me, put it on me.
Right.
So
that means it's going walkies, right?
He knows he's going for a walk, and he's going to stay nice and warm.
Okay. Any other practical presents of that same type, Rhonda, that would be smart and fun and that the dog would appreciate and benefit from?
There's all kinds of things. They even have, Bosley's has winter jackets on sale, and they have booties on sale to protect their feet from the sand and lime that they put on the ground.
Right.
So they have doggy booties and dog chapstick for their feet because it gets dry from the sand. And there's just all kinds of things out there to help protect your dog through the winter and cold snaps.
Okay, so when one is, and you mentioned Bosley's, and this is interesting because you have a particular association with Bosley's. You have 34 locations that you operate out of all over British Columbia, from Kamloops to Victoria and all points in between, basically.
Absolutely.
And a lot of those locations that you work out of are Bosley's stores around the province,
And
right?
that's why it's good for us, because we can give them advice on maintenance, health. We can show them what proper chews to eat for their specific dog. And we got a whole shopping store right in front of us.
And I wanted to ask you, and when we got to talk dogs, we have to talk about bones. Knick-knack, paddywhack, give your dog a bone, and all that stuff that we've been singing since even before we went to school. We were singing about dogs and bones. It's 2015. What's the story with dogs and bones?
A chicken neck a day will keep the vet away. So when you're at home...
It took a second, but I'm with you now.
When you're at home, it's like an apple a day. Keeps the doctor away.
Okay.
So with the teeth, if you can give them like raw turkey necks or raw chicken bones, depending on the size of your dog, they will think you gave them a frozen popsicle. They'll go to town, they'll eat all the important stuff in it, and anything that's not needed, it exits the rear. And it's just such a wholesome, healthy treat for them. And I like single ingredient treats. Anything with too many ingredients or anything you can't pronounce or something you wouldn't eat, don't give it to your dog.
Right, exactly. And Tamara, the idea, though, of dogs and bones, again, there's a size-appropriate thing going on here, too, isn't there?
Yes, you want to, like Rhonda was saying, you need to find that perfect size. So, if you have a bigger dog, the turkey neck, I usually do for my little guy as well because they're a decent size for his mouth.
Right.
But for like a bigger guy, turkey necks, they have the knuckle bones. The raw bones really help with their teeth as well. The acidity of the meat works all the tartar and helps with chewing, with their skin and health.
Right.
For a smaller one, you can do, the smaller knuckle bones as well as the chicken necks. You definitely don't want to do cooked bones, though. The cooked bones is where the problems come into.
This is what I was waiting for, because I knew there was a negative aspect to all of this.
There is a negative. You don't want
Don't
cooked.
give them cooked bones.
You don't want to cook it. You want the frozen raw. The frozen, that way it lasts a little longer and they can chew longer. The cooked bones, if you're cooking them and absorbing all that nutrients and the moisture out of that bone, they can't digest it properly, and then it shards inside and
I was going to say a cooked bone would splinter, And you are professional ultrasonic pet teeth cleaners. Do you, in the course of providing the service to your many clients across BC, encounter bone-chewing specific dental issues with dogs?
Not really.
Really?
No. The only thing we've had problems with is any of the chews that are out there that are really strong, like any kind of hoof or anything that's stronger than the enamel.
Oh, okay.
Anything stronger than the enamel of the dog's teeth, the tooth will break before the treat.
Okay, so that's something else to keep in mind.
Yes.
Boy, I'll tell you, as if we didn't have enough issues to deal with. You should see my shopping list. And now we have to start adding certain criteria for the pets in our lives as well. And all of us will be better because of it. And when we come back, Tamara's going to tell us a story. Rhonda alluded to the toxic nature of some of the treats that we humans absolutely love at this time of year that are, frankly, deadly for animals. We'll talk more about that when we come back. It's Boomer Life here on CIL 650.
Canada's only weekly radio show dedicated to the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CIL 650.